Welcome to Tulsa Music Lessons. I'm Mr. Adam. Today, we're going to be looking at the BAMTA Theory Level 1, the study guide and the practice test. By the time I'm finished with you, you're going to be making 110%. Yeah! So let's dig in. All right, we're zooming in here. Things you need to know for the theory study guide. Notation. Name notes on the bass and treble staff, no ledger lines. Draw stems on the correct side of note heads. Notation. Rhythm. Notes and rests, whole, dotted, half, half, quarter. Time signatures, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. Intervals, seconds and thirds. We'll talk about intervals in this. And then some terminology. Legato means smooth and connected. Staccato means separated and detached. Interval is the distance between two notes. Dynamics are how loud or how soft the music is. Piano is soft, forte is loud. Staff is made up of 5 lines and 4 spaces. There's some signs and symbols. The treble clef, the bass clef, a slur, 2 different notes played smoothly, and a tie, notes the same, add value together. The brace, the bar line, which divides measures, the double bar line, which ends the music, and a repeat sign, which plays the section again. Now, if you have taken the pre-reader level of the BAMTA theory tests, then you should be familiar with some of these things. All right, let's look at this test in depth here. First thing is, it says to write the name of each note in the space below it. Okay, I've written a little something here. Our treble clef always points out, it's known as the G clef, it always points out the G line. So if you can find G using the treble clef, then you can find anything else, and that's what it was originally made for. So I'm sure it won't hurt anyone if you need to. Write your alphabet right here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then, if you know where G is, you can use logic and find anything else. So G's here on this line. This note then will be 1 lower than G, and it's going to be F. Alrighty. Up here, this is really high up. Now, we can use our G line if we want to. So we can, okay, well G, the alphabet's going to start over. So A, B, C, D, and this one will be E. Okay, we could use that. We could also use some acronyms. There's tons of different acronyms. For the spaces, you've got FACE. Think of, faces, spaces, F, A, C, E. There's a lot of those different ones. I kind of like to just stick with landmarks. Anyway, so look at this one. It's right on the G line, so that's going to be G. This one, you have your G line. So you go, here we go, A, B, C, D. That's D. Down here, remember our G line is this line. So we look at this. This is 1, 2 below. So it's G, F, I don't know if the page there. G, F, E. So it's right there. Okay. This guy, if we use our acronym FACE, F, A, C, E, that's going to be C. Or we can use our landmark, G, A, B, C. Okay. Now make sure that when you're doing this, that you are looking at the clef. It's really, really important, okay? If you do all of these thinking that they're treble clef and not bass clef, then you're going to be really messed up. Bass clef, also known as F clef, it triangulates F. Okay, this line right here is F. Oh, and look at that. Our first note is on F. Isn't that convenient? There are also other acronyms to do with bass clef. You've got ACE, G. I just like to say ACE, G, because it sounds cool. You've got good boys do fine always, but if you stick with this, for now it works okay. All right, looking at the other one here, once again you have your landmark, F. So if you can just say your alphabet backwards, let's see. F, E, D, C, B, A, and this must be G. You could also do the acronym good boys do fine always, and that is just for the lines there. So that's G. Over here, there's the F lines. This is right below F. You look up here, right below F will be E. Okay, everyone's still with me here. This guy right here is, let's see, remember we have our F line. We're still in bass clef. Remember we're in bass clef. These spaces are ACE, G, and I like to think of it as like that's some cool new thing the kids are saying these days. Instead of that's dope or that's rad, they're like, hey, that's Ace G. I know, it's the silliest thing. So that's an A. Up here we have F, G, and then A. And then over here, remember, we just have our landmark here. We could follow F down, F, E, D, C. Or we can remember my dope and rad thing, Ace, G, A, C, E, G. So that's C. Okay, looking up here now. Write the number of each interval in the space below. It's just going to be a second or a third. Intervals are really easy at this point. Just remember to count the first note as 1. Remember that intervals are the distance between two notes, and they can be either put together or separate. That is harmonious or melodious. Harmony or melody. Okay, so like this one, we're not naming the notes, all right? We're naming whether it's a second or a third. Second or third, okay? This one, count this one as 1, and then you go up 2. It's just the next one, so it's a second. This guy right here, 1, up to the next, 2. That's it. That's a second. That's really easy. This one, we have 1, 2 is the line, 3 is the space, so this one goes from space to space. It's a third. Really easy so far. This guy is 1, and just up to the next one, 2. There you go. That's a second. Oh, this one's going downward. So still we have 1, 2. So it's a second. Okay. Lastly, we have this one, 1, 2, 3. So it's a third. Notice that these are stacked on top of each other. They're still intervals. It doesn't change anything. Alrighty. Then, moving on, we now have name each kind of note or rest. This is really important. You're going to be naming the notes and the rests. You're going to be naming it and telling how many beats it gets. So this first one, don't worry that it's a D. That doesn't matter. What it is, it's a whole note. That's what kind of note it is. So you do whole like this, whole note. And it gets 4 beats. Alrighty. Now over here, here's a rest. And these are tricky. Let me kind of give you what I think. This is a half rest. H-A-L-F. Half rest. And here's how I like to remember the half rests. The half rests, if I were to draw them without, like not on a staff, they stick up like this, kind of like a little hat. You see like a little hat, and there's like a dude right here, you know? So that's a hat. I think of hat, half, hat, half. Just like a half note, a half rest is worth 2 beats. Over here, we have a quarter note. Quarter rest. Quarter rest. Quarter rests just look like lightning. Imagine that lightning strikes and everyone freezes for 1 beat, because that's how much it's worth. 1 beat. 1 beat of nothing. All right, looking over here now. Get my sheet all good. There we go. This is another rest. What kind of rest is it? Well, we've already said quarter rest. We've already said half rest. So this one is a whole rest. Whole rest. How do I know it's a whole rest? What's an easy way to remember that? Well, if it's on a line, it looks as though someone drew a hole, like a pit, on this line. And there's a little stick figure man, and he's going to fall right in there. Ah! Okay, that's how my silly mind remembers it. So it means to play nothing for 4 beats. Okay, moving on. This here is a half note. We should all know that by now. Half note is worth 2 beats. And then this guy here is kind of a newer one if you're kind of in Alfred level 1B. 1A. This is 3 beats. It is a dotted dotted half note. Okay, think of a half note that has taken another quarter note. So a half note plus a quarter note would be worth 3 beats. So that's kind of how you remember that. All right, you guys are doing great. You are halfway through the test. Let's flip it over, and I'm going to actually grab a clean sheet right here because you can see all of my green squigglies. All right, flipping the page around here. Okay, name each of these symbols. These should be pretty easy. I've already talked about a few of them. This is the bass clef. bass clef. And this is the treble clef. Treble clef. And this looks like, you know, it's like, what is this? Well, it's a double bar line. Double bar line. This one right here is a repeat sign. Okay, just like that. This is the stuff, if you've taken the pre-reader test, you should have had that last time. In the following time signature, tell what each number means. Now this, on the real test, this could be any time signature that ends with a 4, okay? It could be 2-4, 3-4, or 4-4. What you need to worry about here is the top note is how many beats are in a measure, okay? So I'm going to fill that part in. Beats per measure. So it's a 2. Okay, boom. 2 beats per measure. Over here is the 4. On the bottom, the 4 means that a quarter note gets 1 beat. So the quarter note equals 1 beat. Not a half note, not a whole note. The quarter note is the thing that equals 1 beat. Okay, good. Let's go on to matching. Let's see. Can we see the whole matching here on the screen? Yeah, that's not too bad. Not bad at all. Okay. You have a lot of different things to match up. What I do not want you to do is don't do like squiggly lines and stuff. Do a straight line if you're going to do lines. Some people like to write it and then do a line or to check it off. I just want to make sure that you don't really make this a mess, okay? Keep it clean. F, that's forte. So let's go over here and look for forte. There it is. F, and look, it's F. Now I just do a little check off like that, okay? Interval. We already tested on intervals. It is the distance between two notes. Look, there we go. The distance between two notes, H. Legato. Legato is smooth and connected, A. And think of how the word sounds, legato. It's very smooth. This is a brace. Connects the two staves together to make a grand staff. There it is right there, E. I guess I should be checking these off, huh? Okay, there we go. Staff. A staff is made up of 5 lines and 4 spaces on which music notes are written. So that's B. This right here, notice how the notes are on the same plane. They are the same note. If they're the same note, it's not a slur, it's a tie, because they're tied together to make even more beats. So hold for the value of both notes added together. That's C. Now this is going to trick you, okay? Tie and slur. Make sure you know the difference. Let's go straight to slur. Slur is down here. It's 2 different notes, and it means to play smoothly. Play legato. All right. All right, then P is piano, which means to play softly. That's part D right there. And then staccato. Short, detached, and separated. When you say the word, it sounds kind of detached. Staccato. Especially when you say it like that. When you say it awesome like that. Okay, cool. You guys are almost done. Moving on here. Circle each note with the stem in the wrong place. Now this is where the stems can be going up or down, and they need to go up if they're on, they need to go up if they're on the lowest line up to this line, this space, I mean. They need to go down if they're on this line going up to this line, okay? So let's look at this then. This one's going down, that's good. And honestly, the way to look at this is if there is a stem just jumping way up, then you know it's probably wrong. Okay, so that's good. Look at that, it's going way down. That is wrong. This one, it's going down. That's honestly, this is one of those ones where they make it go up. It's kind of weird. This guy's going way up. That's wrong. And this one is not quite. This one's good. All right, write tie or slur below each example. If the note is the same, it's going to be a tie. So look, the notes are on the exact same line, so they are a tie. I'm just going to put T for convenience, okay? This is slurring. See how it's going to a different one? So that's a slur. This, wait, same exact space, so that is a tie. These ones are slurring up, slurring down, and these are exactly the same, so they're a tie. Congratulations, you have done the entire test. So good luck. Where's my thumb? Thumbs up, all right? Yeah.